Yo, what's going on guys? Arix here. Welcome back to another video for Godfall. The game officially launches today alongside the PS5, and for those of you looking to dive in and begin your adventure, I thought I'd put together a handy beginner's guide going over all the stuff you need to know to get started. I've teamed up with Gearbox and Counterplay Games for this series, since I'll also be putting together a couple more handy guides for those of you looking to get the most out of your weapons and your Valor plates, so a massive shout out to them for very kindly sponsoring these videos. Of course, as always, if you guys have any questions, or there's anything you want to know more about, then let me know in the comments down below. But let's get started. First up, what exactly is Godfall? Well, Godfall falls within the looter-slasher genre, meaning the game is part melee combat, part loot. It's important to understand that Godfall is not a game as a service, so while it's easy to draw comparisons to titles like Destiny or The Division, given the loot aspect, it's a little closer to something like Monster Hunter in terms of quest structure. Godfall will see you embarking on missions from a central hub, the Seventh Sanctum, throughout which you'll obtain loot and you'll then return to the hub before your next adventure. So in that respect, see it more as an instanced, bite-sized experience, something you can jump into very quickly, get to the heart of the action, and repeat. You take on the role of Orin, a Valorian knight whose primary goal is to take down his brother Macross and stop him from destroying the world. Throughout your journey, you'll use a wide array of Valor plates and weapons at your disposal to lay waste to anything that stands in your way. There are 12 Valor plates in Godfall, and as you progress throughout the game, you'll obtain the materials needed to unlock these. Infused Jasper comes from the first map, the Earth Realm. Crystalline Tears come from the Water Realm, and Etheric Filament comes from the Air Realm. And Orb of Oblivion, well, that's something you'll need to work towards later on. Silvermane is your first Valor plate, with bonuses in charge speed for weapon techniques, shield and polarity attacks, as well as bonus damage when using those aspects of play, and the Archon mode will call forth 3 Spirit Warriors to aid you in battle. Armistice is all about breach damage, with the Archon mode unleashing a devastating wave that breaches all nearby enemies, opening them up for lethal takedowns. Typhon is the embodiment of water, inflicting chill on its enemies, dealing bonus damage to enemies that are chilled, and summoning water sentinels to aid it in battle. Greyhawk is all about Soul Shatter, with bonus Soul Shatter build-up, and an Archon mode that applies Soul Shatter build-up to all nearby enemies. If you're unfamiliar with some of these terms, by the way, we'll also be diving into them in more detail in the upcoming combat video. Phoenix is your fire plate, all about Ignite. The Archon mode kicks out a large shockwave, dishing out fire damage, whilst also allowing you to deal bonus damage to enemies on fire. Bulwark is your Valor plate for Bleed. Activating your Archon mode will see you summon 3 physical sentinels in combat, and you also have a 90% chance to inflict bleed so that you can do bonus damage to bleeding enemies. Mobius is the Cursed Valor plate, summoning Void Sentinels upon Archon mode activating, and having a bonus chance to inflict curse on enemies that you strike. Bonus damage is then dealt to those cursed enemies. Vertigo is for shock. Those of you that want to lean more into this element, your Archon mode deals a shockwave of air damage, and you deal bonus damage to shocked enemies. Aegis Horn is for those of you that want to survive. With the ability to take 5% less damage and call forth Spirit Warriors to aid you in battle, you and your nearby allies can also take less damage during Archon Fury, making this a great pick for the support-focused players. Illumina is all about weak point damage. If you want to pinpoint the enemy's weak spots for devastating damage, then this is the Valor plate for it. Upon Archon Fury activating, you deal physical damage in a wave that reveals all enemy weak points, allowing you to follow up with some powerful death blows. Mesa is the poison plate, inflicting poison whilst in Archon Fury mode and dishing out earth damage upon activation, and bonus damage is dealt to all poisoned enemies. And then finally, Hinterclaw, the last plate you'll be unlocking. This plate is all about crit damage. You summon 3 Spirit Warriors to aid you in battle upon Archon Fury activation, and you get bonus critical hit chance and damage when defeating enemies. Once you've picked your Valor plate of choice, it's time to decide how you want to play. There are 5 weapon types in Godfall: Hammer, Greatsword, Longsword, Dual Blades, and Polearm. Hammer is all about large AoE damage with slow, powerful strikes hitting multiple enemies in the process. This is a devastating weapon, albeit slow, for use in the crowd, so time your attacks well to make the most of this weapon. The Greatsword is another slow, heavy-hitting weapon with wide, sweeping attacks capable of attacking multiple enemies at once. You can also throw this using your special moves to attack enemies or weak points from far away. The Longsword is a quick and nimble weapon, much more focused on single target damage. It's a great all-round option, offering a balance of power and speed, allowing you to remain agile on the battlefield. The Dual Blades are the fastest weapon of the bunch, with devastatingly quick attacks. These will allow you to slice and dice the enemy, whilst also remaining mobile on the battlefield. Pair that with your ability to zip towards enemies, and you really can become untouchable. Then finally, you have the polearm, another quick and nimble yet devastating weapon, this time with range on your side, allowing you to attack enemies from arm's length, and also allowing you to strike enemies from afar by throwing it. The polearm is a great, fast, versatile weapon that complements some of the slower offerings. Keep in mind you can equip 2 weapons and change them on the fly, so play around with these to see what you like best. Also keep in mind that the moves you have at the beginning of the game are not the whole picture. As you spend skill points, you can unlock more. As you level up, you'll earn skill points, and you can spend those on your skill tree to expand your combat abilities. You can start from either of the corners of the tree and begin working your way inwards, plus you can respec at any time. But pay particular attention to some of these nodes that unlock special weapon moves, timing attacks, the ability to target weak points, and even additional moves for your shield. Spec into these, and you begin broadening your arsenal. As you progress throughout the game and obtain loot, you'll begin discovering items that you want to hold on to. Well, the good news is, as those items are replaced by higher level items, you can begin to upgrade. Find something you like, bring it with you. If you visit the Forge in the 7th Sanctum, you can spend some of the materials you've no doubt discovered throughout the maps to upgrade your favourite items, making them more powerful and allowing them to remain viable throughout the game. As mentioned in the beginning, the structure for the game will see you picking missions from the map and loading in for instanced activities. Your missions are broken down into story, boss, hunt, and unique. Story missions, as the name suggests, moves the story forward and puts you one step closer to defeating Macross. Boss missions will typically come at the end of an area where you clear the necessary objectives, and this will pit you against a tough boss fight in a bespoke arena. Hunt missions will see you embark on a quest to take out a specific enemy type, hunt them down, slay them, and return for your rewards. And unique missions will either see you exploring a new realm or ascending the Tower of Trials. Missions can be replayed and revisited, and remember to adjust the difficulty if you want a chance at better loot. Harder difficulties will see enemies deal more damage, but also drop more loot, but you will fail the quest if you die 3 times, so keep that in mind. But that, my friends, for the time being, is pretty much it. Of course, once you defeat Macross, you have the Ascended Tower of Trials and the Dreamstone endgame activities to embark on. But I myself am still working through the campaign, so that's a topic for another time. Be sure to keep it locked for more Godfall, as we'll be covering combat tips, Valor plates and more over the coming days. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed that video. Don't forget, if you haven't already done so, you can join the Arekkz Gaming Discord. We've got an awesome community over there with so many different channels for you to chat loads of different topics and different games. I'm in there, the team's in there if you guys want to chat with us, find people to play with. It's just in general a great place to be. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to turn on those notifications so you don't miss any of our future uploads.